Alright class, for today's EMS related discussion, I decided to talk to you guys about ET tubes, endotracheal tubes. Pretty much just going to go over everything on the tube, what all the different markings mean, and how it's made and everything, and why it's made the way it is. Starting from the bottom up, we have a slight bevel in the tube, you'll notice, and this is made this way, this bevel, so that your tube is less likely to get occluded. That's also what this is right here. This small hole is called the Murphy's eye, and it's another thing that's put into the tube to help reduce the risk of stuff getting into your tube and causing more occlusion. Looking at this tube right here, the next thing you'll see is this cuff, and this indicates, first of all, that this is an adult tube, because pediatric tubes do not have the cuffs on them. But this tube, the cuff on the tube is used when you inflate it. It reduces the risk of aspiration. That's not to say that certain things can't get by the cuff, because even though it is inflated, there is the possibility of the patient's saliva and other liquids getting through the cuff. So it's not a definitive blockage of aspiration, but it definitely reduces the risk. Moving up the tube, you'll notice this black marker here. Not all tubes have this, but this one does. It's a good marker to know that, once you go through, don't go any further past the point where you have lost the visual of this marker. That pretty much indicates that you're at a good spot in the lungs in terms of being able to oxygenate the lungs, excuse me. So you don't really want to go past this marker. You might get a right main stem, for instance. Going up the tube, this size is an 8.0, I don't know if you can see that. And it says right here, OD 10.7. The 8.0 is actually the inside diameter of this tube, and OD is the outside diameter. So this, that's how they're measured most of the time, is the internal diameter, the inside diameter. And the average male is going to be around an 8. The average female is going to be around a 7. It also has markings that will let you know this can be used for both oral and nasal intubation. As you move up the tube, these numerical markings, they're every 2, they're in centimeters, and it's important to note that after you intubate the patient, the marking that's out of the mouth on most adults should be between 21 and 23. So that's what you're looking for. Now this part right here is called the pilot tube with the pilot balloon. This is important because once it's inflated, and you normally inflate this with about 10 to 15 mLs, it's a good indicator, and you check this before ever using your equipment, obviously, that your cuff is inflated, as you see. On extubation, obviously, you want to deflate your cuff and remove your tube. Okay. As you move up the tube, at the very top is the 15mm adapter. This is a universal adapter for all BVMs, all type of ventilation equipment, so they can all be attached to this. And I think that's about it on the ET tube. Obviously, you guys know when to use this. If we're ventilating someone with a BVM and getting good air exchange, and all of our numbers are good, our stats are good, we can keep venting with a BVM, but this is an advanced airway. This is what we're trained to do, and hopefully we'll be able to get one of these in the patient.